Hi guys, it's Uprooted once more. This is Hajra.
And this is Rose. Welcome back to our mini pod.
Of course.
Ooh, I like that.
So for this podcast, we are doing a little bit of an introduction and coming to America from two different countries, Kenya and Uganda, of course. Those who do not know, is East Africa, right on the equator a little bit.
East side.
Okay. So on this episode, we would like to talk more on how we lived in one country and all of a sudden we lived in another. I mean, it's not an easy process. We were daughters of Africa and now we are American citizens, college graduates, and friends for more than 10 years and so forth.
It's definitely not an easy transition. I remember like growing up in Kenya. And coming to America was just like wishful thinking. Like all the adults talked about it. We really didn't think too much of it. But I do remember like there was one time at recess and everyone stopped playing as the plane flew over us, disappearing into the clouds. And as kids, like our imagination started running wild and we were thinking about how America was like the closest place to heaven, and we talked about how the trees grew money and the streets were paved with gold. Like it was a dream come true,
Like the land of opportunities. You were always told that like everything in America is better, is clean, all
right.
these
No dirt anywhere.
Exactly. So when you're a kid, you believe that and you really want to have that dream as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But culture shock is like not just being unfamiliar with like social norms or experiencing new foods. I mean, it has a lot of different factors to it because like schools are different. The way for me, like going to school was back home, you have your uniform on, your nails are short, your hair is tidy. If you didn't want your hair to be braided, I think we had to have like 32 lines or cornrows, whatever, or you were just bald. And I was bald. I ain't gonna lie, I did not like getting my hair done.
No, yeah.
But I know here, like then I came here and my mom had our clothes ready, everything was good, and me and my brother walked in our first day with our uniforms pressed, new shoes, just to see that not everybody wore uniforms because they weren't mandatory. And I went,
whatever hairstyle they want.
Right, like people have blue hair, red hair. I went home and told my mom we were not wearing uniforms anymore, and guess what? She still made us wear a uniform until like 4th grade, I think. She would let us dress down on Fridays as a reward. How that was a reward, I don't know. Until this day, she still doesn't believe me about it. It's a sad, sad world.
What would you say will be like one of the things you love about America?
Oh, okay. Not getting beat or hit or spanked, any of that. That does not happen here. I remember I was scared that we were running late and I expected to get a spanking or something. And I walked in and the teacher was just like, sit down. And I'm like, what is going on here? Back home, even if you turn your homework in late, or let's say you forget to do your homework, just expect your knuckles to be hurting for 2 days. Just expect it, because it happens. Like for the little things, like your uniform being wrinkled, your nails are too long, little things like that.
Yeah, that was used to get
that I liked.
And those things right in front of everybody.
Right in front of, they were right in front of the whole class. Oh man.
One thing I loved about America was like the restrooms. I absolutely loved sitting on a porcelain toilet. So I did not like the squatting thing. I if you ever have the opportunity to go to Uganda, any of the
Or
islands,
Kenya,
or Kenya, or Africa as a whole, maybe some Latin countries, any country.
Right, a lot of different countries. Like even when I went to Thailand, and when you go to some of the rural places, they have the hole on the ground, but I mean it's still kind of like a porcelain thing, but you still gotta squat and just put water in it for the flush it, basically. But like everybody needs that experience. To me, I feel like everybody needs that experience. I mean, it will humble you.
It will. You're right.
Yeah, like no, one time I went home from school and it was during lunchtime and I had to really use the restroom. So I took off my sweater and I put my sweater on my lap and I squatted. How I forgot I had my sweater on my lap. I stood up, my sweater fell in the hole. Never seen again. My dad was so mad, yo.
Oh, I can't. Oh, another thing I think of is the hot water. You got both that mess.
Oh, baby girl. Yes, hot water, hot showers. That's something I could not live without.
We came back from Africa, and it was like I was like, oh God, I have to take cold showers.
Those are
for 3 weeks. I gotta be, do what I gotta do.
Now I feel like I'd be so bougie when I go back home, and I like to stay in hotels or with family members that have hot water. Cause not happening. I can't do it. I can't go back. I'm sorry. I can't go back to that.
Oh, you can't? Oh, for real?
I am above it now.
But there is many different things about Africa and different things about America. And another thing is how the food tastes is like school. In Africa, for school, at every level, there is no, wait until you go to college to pay like here. No, at every level in Africa, you got to pay for school.
Right.
So, yeah, and a lot of people can't afford it. Here,
if
you have the documents, you can go to school.
Free education. Oh my gosh, I love that. Like that's something that a lot of people take for granted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until here, all you got to do is pay for college. So take your time, guys, and save up this. Pretend that you're back home in Kenya and just save up every paycheck, like you're sending them to school. Use that money and send them to college.
Yeah, and then another difference is how kids are treated here. They can literally play however long, wherever they want
outside without no issues. I mean, they choose not to. I mean, not a lot of kids be outside anymore with all these video games.
No, I mean in America, yes, with video games, but in Africa, they can do whatever they want.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not crazy. They can do whatever they want. They can come back home safely.
Yeah, with no issues, no worries. But that saying about it takes a village.
Exactly. I was gonna actually tell you that. Yeah, exactly. Your neighbors know your children.
Yes, and you know your neighbors. Okay, let me ask you. You know all your neighbors
over here.
You even know your next door neighbors.
I don't even know what they look like. I'm good.
Exactly. That is some sad stuff. I don't know my neighbors either. I mean, I've seen them. But if I had to see them on the street, I wouldn't know how they look like.
That's true. It's scary to talk to your neighbors even now.
Yeah.
America brings out your
fear and everything.
Because everything is so they can abduct kids.
Yeah. I mean, they are abducting grown people in plain sight. Grown women are being abducted in plain sight. So, I mean, it's a whole different
one thing I know? It's so easy for kids to lie in America to their parents.
Yeah, because there's no repercussions, really, if you think about it.
And in Africa, woo, that lie won't go.
You can't even think about lying to your parents. No, ma'am.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure other people who have been in other countries, they know about culture shock and they have seen the differences. They have experienced the differences.
And even I feel like even the people in America, like let's say you're from the South and you move to the North, that's a culture shock in itself. From what some of my friends have told me, like I have a best friend who lived in the North and moved to the South, and she said that was a culture shock. And I'm just like, how? I mean, I guess to me it's just like everything was a culture shock to me. Like I couldn't, see the difference in how, she said hers was a culture shock. But I guess like no one culture is better than the other. It's just different, and constantly comparing and contrasting doesn't make anyone happy. It just makes it difficult to, because like for me, like growing up here, there's sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm so at home in the States, and then I go back to Kenya and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so at home there. But there are some times where I just feel like I don't belong anywhere, because if you go home and somebody's like, oh, you were raised in the States, whatever, you don't belong here. And then you come here, oh, you're from Kenya, you're from Africa, oh no, you don't belong here. It's just like, yo, where do I belong? But I feel like my friends and family, just wherever they are and I'm at home. It don't matter.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And the thing is, again, we may see the differences, but if you actually go out and try to embrace those differences, maybe try food, maybe
you may find that you love it. Like,
yeah, maybe try on their clothes, whatever it is. Just, you will like it.
Like and that's why I always say, if you have an opportunity to travel, to take it, to go anywhere, and if that opportunity comes to you, I say take it.
And don't go to the populated tourist area. No.
Not all the time. I'm not gonna say don't.
No, not in those days.
No. I ain't gonna say don't do it, because that may be where you feel comfortable sleeping and taking a good hot shower, because I guess that is me. But take some time and go to the village and experience that side too.
Exactly.
Yes. I think, when was it? The beginning of the year, I went to Ghana, and although it was like it was similar to Kenya, you could still see there's some differences, that they had that we didn't have, and there was also similarities. So, I loved it. I loved going there and still felt like I was home, even if it wasn't my home. So, like, taking the time to go to different places and experience new cultures can be rewarding.
Exactly. It made me, like, I had a hunger to go back to Africa. I literally miss it so much. And when I went to Ghana, I absolutely felt home, and I didn't want to leave. And it's just that it kind of filled up a little bit of the void that I had of missing Africa.
Right.
So I had, I had fun being back home.
The little things make me happy. The little things.
Exactly. But we hope you enjoyed our second episode. And if you have any comments or anything you want to say, please let us know. You can always, we're gonna try.
Yeah, but we'll try to get a YouTube channel where you'll be. I guess I don't know if people are able to leave messages or comments on here, but definitely leave like comments on like whatever social media network we post on, so you can give us ideas on what you would like us to talk about. And also stay tuned. Like next Tuesday will be our second episode, and it will have our special guest from our Mommy's Corner. So
of course,
I'm very excited about that.
Me too. But we will be signing out with much love to you and yours. Uprooted, shaken, restored. Until next time.
Yeah, and remember, guys, we water our roots so we can all grow. Bye.
Bye.